We just got back from a wonderful 3 days at the Disney Lorcana Challenge Toronto, and we wanted to share some helpful tips we learned along the way. So let's get ready to talk about everything Disney Lorcana Challenge. What's up Illumineers, it's Charlie here, and I'm still riding the wave of positive emotions from attending my very first Disney Lorcana Challenge with Mateus. Honestly, our hearts were so full from all of the amazing interactions we had while we were there, and getting to meet so many Illumineers along the way. Since it was our first time attending a Disney Lorcana Challenge, or DLC, we had loads of questions and a lot to learn, so we want to put together this short video covering some of the top tips we have. If you prefer to read a text version though, or you just want a different perspective, I definitely recommend checking out Kim and Sarah's super awesome Disney Lorcana Challenge guide, which we'll link down in the description below. So what is a DLC? The Disney Lorcana Challenges are a competitive event circuit for Disney Lorcana. These are very large-scale competitive events bringing together some of the best Illumineers around to compete for the chance to become a Lorcana Champion, earn some amazing prizes, meet some of the developers of the game, and for the top players, qualify for future events. Even if you don't consider yourself competitive, these events have many ways to play and are a great way to get out there and meet fellow Illumineers. For us, the best part of this experience was connecting with people we've met online in person and also making loads of new friends too. There are two types of ways to participate in DLCs, either as a competitor or as an attendee. You will need one of these two types of badges to be granted entry to the venue. Although both badges allow you to participate in side events, only the competitor badge grants access to the main tournament. Competitor badges, at least for the current circuit, also include an exclusive Dragonfire DLC full art promo card, while with the attendee badge you will earn 6 prize tickets for the prize wall. More on that later. For the past and current DLCs in North America, badges have been purchased from PPG Event Management via Eventbrite. These sell out very fast, as anyone who has tried to pick one up will know. While all of these events of the current circuit have now been released, if you're planning to attend the next set of DLCs, always be sure to have your Eventbrite account logged in, and ideally a payment method ready to go. And if you're not able to grab a ticket, don't be disheartened. You can add yourself to the waitlist and hopefully be notified later. Once you've managed to secure your ticket and have organised your accommodation, one other thing to plan before you attend are your side events. At DLCs, outside of the main tournament, there are scheduled and on-demand side events that can award you with prize tickets. On-demand events are not available in advance and can be kicked off whenever the play requirements are met. These are usually smaller since the focus is getting people playing quickly, but it also means that there is always something to do at a DLC. These types of events can only be purchased directly at the venue. Scheduled side events, on the other hand, are made available online prior to the event itself, usually during the week of. The skill and pricing of these events are larger than on-demand events, so if you want to secure a spot, you'll need to be prepared. For attendees, any of these events that are available may be good options for you, while for competitors, you may want to prioritize booking events for Sunday if you're not confident you're going to make it to the second day of the main tournament. Unlike the main tickets, all scheduled side events are purchased directly through Melee. You'll be able to see all of the scheduled side events through the Melee hub for the DLC you're attending. Check what time the enrollment will become available, as this is when you'll be able to purchase, and some of these events can go quite quickly. Be sure to sign into Melee in advance and have your payment details ready to go. In addition to a credit card, you can use both PayPal and Google Wallet to purchase side events, so having these logged in too will also help speed up the checkout process. And the great thing about these events is that you can unenroll yourself for a full refund up until the time of the event by simply clicking the unenroll button. For the competitors, prior to the main event, the event organizer will require you to submit your deck list. For Toronto, which was organized by PPG, they provided a Google form requiring a photo of the physical deck along with a timestamp, as well as a link to our deck list on dreambond.inc. There will be a strict deadline to submit your deck list, usually right before the start of the main event, so be sure to submit your deck well before then. And, at least for Toronto, we could resubmit our deck list if we made a change, as they would only take the latest submission. It's very important that your deck list is accurate, as random deck checks do take place. I can certainly attest to this, as me and my third round opponent were chosen for one of those. When it comes to what to bring, we have a whole video covering what we usually carry with us when playing Disney Lorcana, so definitely check that out. But the main things we'd recommend bringing with you are your decks, of course. We chose to bring different decks for the main tournament and the side events, partly because the main tournament was only accepting cards up to set 4, and we really wanted to play with all of the exciting new Shimmering Skies cards during the side events when they were legal. You'll also want to bring damage counters and dies, your playmat, and a fresh set of sleeves as your deck must be spotless when playing. We'd also recommend top loaders or some kind of protection for any promo cards you earn along the way, or surprise enchanteds you might pull during events. It's good to bring an additional notepad and pen to keep your score, even though DLCs tend to provide a notepad for you as well. After that, it's really just the basics. Some ID to pick up your badges, a portable charger and cords to charge your phone, and snacks, painkillers, and anything else you need to make yourself comfortable during the event. One thing to note is that the competition spaces are kept quite cool. Great for us who love an air-conditioned room, but having a sweatshirt or additional warm clothing on hand could be a good idea, especially if you're sensitive to the cold. With everything organised, the next step is arriving at the event. DLCs have traditionally offered 2 slots for badge pickup, the early pickup window the day before the event, as well as a late pickup on the morning of the event. The times of these have been different for each event, so be sure to confirm for the DLC you're attending. No matter when you pick up your badge, don't forget to have your ID and Eventbrite confirmation at the ready. One benefit of trying to attend the early badge pickup is that promo cards are awarded. Choosing to pick up your badge early also means you can get a bit more sleep in the day before the event too. For Toronto, late pickup was from 7 AM to 8:30 AM, while the mandatory player meeting was only 9 AM. Another advantage of the early pickup is that your DLC may have on-demand side events available. For Toronto, there were on-demand side events running from 2 PM till 6 PM. This gave us a little bit of extra time to play Disney Lorcana and earn some additional prize tickets. Okay, so I said we were going to talk about it, and it is finally time. Let's discuss prize tickets. One of the reasons you'll want to do side events and the main event itself are to earn these tickets. Tickets can be redeemed at the prize wall for some awesome goodies like these Rapunzel and Cinderella promo cards we picked up, the coveted Cinderella playmat, or even Disney Lorcana merchandise. We'll show the pricing for Toronto on screen now in case you want to see what's available. These prizes and their cost may change between DLCs, so definitely check for the one you're attending. With the exception of the Atlanta DLC, every DLC has awarded tickets based on different point thresholds during the main event. For Toronto, earning 10 to 19 points netted 6 prize tickets. 20 to 29 points give 14 tickets, and 30 plus points give 20 tickets. For the top 64 players, tickets were awarded based on performance along with other various pricing. Tickets cannot be carried over between events, so be sure to use all of your tickets before leaving. You can also trade away any spare tickets with fellow Illumineers for official Disney Lorcana products only. It's strictly forbidden to sell tickets, however. For the main Disney Lorcana Challenge event, only those with a competitor badge can take part. This is a full day event, 2 days if you make it to the top cut, featuring an initial 9 rounds, each consisting of 2 games, followed by top cut. During the first day, there will be a lunch break at some point. In Toronto, this was a 45-minute break after the 3rd round. All event information is provided by the website melee.gg. You should already have an account, as this would have been needed when purchasing your tickets. The first part of the main event is the mandatory player meeting, which is a 30-minute slot before the tournament kicks off. This meeting is to formally introduce you to the event, provide any important information, and to unenroll anyone who does not show up. So be sure to attend or you'll risk losing your spot. It's worth noting that this is not your seat for the first round, and the person opposite you is not your opponent, so you don't need to take out your deck or playmat. Seatings for the mandatory player meeting are published on Melee and can be viewed in the Your Seating section of the player controller. They were also posted in paper form outside of the competition hall in case you don't have access to your phone. After that, each match will be published in Melee and can be viewed once more in the player controller under Current Match. You will see a table number listed, which is where you should go for your match. Tables are ordered numerically with the lowest table through to the highest. As players are organised by their records, the players with the best score will be at the tables with the lowest number. You can roughly track your position based on where you're sat in the room. For me, that meant I was slowly moving toward the back of the room throughout the day. In the 2-game format, each game won is worth 3 points, with an additional point awarded if you win both games in a match, for a total of 7 points. Once a match is concluded, you should enter your result into Melee. We definitely recommend doing this with your opponent to make sure that they're happy, though they will have the opportunity to confirm and verify the results on their end too. In most DLC challenges, the points required for Top Cut have been around 43 to 45, depending on the event. You can check your current standing on Melee at any time to see how you're progressing as you play. A big incentive for more competitive players is the chance to earn very exclusive and unique prizes. The cutoff for these prizes differs based on the size of the event, but they include a foil extended art Dragonfire promo card awarded to all competitors during round 3 of the main event. A foil extended art Let It Go promo card, usually awarded to the top 64 or top 128 players depending on the event size. A foil extended art Cinderella Stout-Hearted promo card, usually awarded to the top 32 or top 64 players. A foil extended art Rapunzel gifted with healing promo card, usually awarded to the top 16 or top 32 players. A Rapunzel gifted with healing alternate art DLC foil playmat, usually awarded to the top 8 or top 16 players. And finally, a golden Mickey Mouse Brave Little Tailor serialized card awarded to the top 4 or top 8 players. Additional pricing is also awarded to the top players in the events. As you can earn tickets based on your score in the main event, it's usually worth it to keep playing, even if you may not win every match. Once more, track your points in the player details section of the player controller to see how you're doing, and how close you are to the next threshold. And while it's strongly encouraged that you play every match to determine the winner, there may be instances where you wish to intentionally draw or ID a match. This is because an ID guarantees each player 3 points, whereas playing a game can result in you or your opponent earning 0. So it may be advantageous if you're close to a threshold for prizing or can guarantee your spot in day 2. Intentional draws are permitted by section 3.5 of the official Disney Lorcana tournament rules, but a player may only request an intentional draw once per match, and may not implicitly or explicitly offer any reward or consideration in exchange for a draw. While there is a mechanism in place within Melee to register an intentional draw, you should always call a judge to facilitate the process and avoid any issues. It is strongly recommended to track scores by pen and paper whilst playing. While it's true that any non-digital way of tracking lore is valid, doing it by pen and paper will ensure you have a written record of the score in case there are any discrepancies or issues whilst playing. These will help in your favour, especially if there is a judge call based on your score. Notepads and pens were handed out to competitors in Toronto, and it's likely they will be at future events too. But you can also choose to bring your own notepad with you. Because DLCs are competitive events, there is a high expectation of behaviour from everyone involved, and it's important to familiarise yourself with the rules and procedures of Disney Lorcana and tournament play in general. We'll link both of those down in the comments, and we definitely recommend having a read of them before attending. And be sure to arrive on time for your matches, as you can be penalised for being late. Finally, remember to treat your opponent with respect, no matter the outcome of the game. Unsportsmanlike behaviour will never be tolerated at DLCs, and you could risk being penalised. And although it can be intimidating, remember that judges are there to help you. If you ever need to call a judge, simply raise your hand and shout "Judge!" This could be for anything ranging from requesting clarification on game rules, helping you understand how a card functions, to reporting an infraction. If you disagree with a judge's ruling, and it happens, we're all human after all, you can request a second opinion where another judge will be brought in. Outside of the main tournament and scheduled side events, there are also on-demand events you could take part in at DLCs. Unlike scheduled events, on-demand events can start at any time and usually just require a certain number of players to start. The smallest of these events is the Pack Rush, where you will play one game against an opponent. If you're curious about Pack Rushes, we have a video where we played one ourselves, so definitely check it out. In addition to Pack Rush, there will also usually be on-demand sealed, draft and constructed events too, so there'll be plenty of variety for you to pick from. You can sign up for on-demand events at the sign-up table, and you'll be given a coloured ticket corresponding to the event type, which you should then bring to the section of the hall. For instance, if you're given a Ruby ticket, you should bring that to the Ruby section of the hall and hand it to a member of staff who will then guide you to the game. DLCs will usually also feature vendors selling various products including cards and accessories. This was great news for us as Matthias needed some new sleeves and was looking for some last foils for our master set. There will also be an area where you can watch featured matches or just chill out between rounds. And that's our tips for attending a DLC. We know that these types of events aren't for everyone, but if you love playing Disney Lorcana, we definitely recommend checking out at least one if you're able to. From start to finish, the event was so magical, getting to meet so many people there. A special thank you to everyone who came up and said hi to Matthias and I this weekend, including the most lovely person who gifted Matthias a legendary Donald Duck Pie Slinger card. It's moments like these that make these types of events particularly special. We really hope you're able to attend a DLC soon, and be sure to drop us a like on your way out if you found this video useful. And until next time,
Happy questing!
Happy questing!
Happy questing!
happy questing!
Happy questing!
Happy questing!
Happy questing!